What's up, everyone? This whole time I've been talking, I guess nobody could hear me, huh? I think the only people at the time that could only hear me was the people on X. But a little quick recap for the people on YouTube. Um, and this is gonna be a very short live, by the way. So just in case you guys are wondering. Um, but what I was saying for the people on YouTube is this right here. This blue line is where the true focus, or at least where I'm really focusing in on, due to the fact that once Bitcoin surpasses this blue line and stays above, not just hitting the blue line, because as you could see here, it hit the blue line a few times, hit it, and this is what you call a false breakout. It tried to have a breakout. People were thinking 100K Bitcoin was coming, but sadly the market, people started dumping, rejection. You had another attempt at it over here, stayed above it for a few days, then followed by another rejection. Tried it again the third time, and we thought we were going to get another go, followed by another rejection. And even when this happened right here, if you just take a look, like based upon how this looks, how far up this is a small downward move, guys. A very, very small downward move that happened in the market. And people were just freaking out. They were like 10K Bitcoin was coming. And this is why it's very, very important that you watch who you listen to in the market. Because if you're new, sometimes you do have to rely on the experience of others until you get your own experience. Um, and if you're hearing to Joe Smos talking about Bitcoin is going to 10K, you're more likely, oh, let me sell and I'll just try to rebuy the dip at 10K. And meanwhile, you know, 40K didn't even come and you sold your assets and now you have to rebuy it at a higher price, just sitting there waiting for it. But yeah, so you had this other attempt right here, boom, try to do it, couldn't do it again, boom. Then even this last attempt back in what, July, it tried to get above this blue line, couldn't do it, followed by another crash. Now we're at 65. 65 was a key resistance area for Bitcoin. Now that we're able to surpass that 65, at least hoping that, this is not a false breakout and we don't get back to 65. But like I mentioned, this is the area of interest that I'm looking at, because once this happens and we start really having a nice breakout, you got to think about it from a macro standpoint. Shiba Inu, it moves in the direction that Bitcoin does. Wherever Bitcoin goes, so shall the overall market. So if Bitcoin is having a huge parabolic move, surpassing its all-time highs, then you could bet your butt that you're going to start to see Shiba Inu start to rise, because again, Bitcoin's going up, the overall market goes up, meaning different assets, different altcoins, they start to move along with Bitcoin. Um, and the great thing about it too is Bone, is a sympathy play for Shiba Inu. So if Shiba Inu starts to go up, Bone starts to go up as well too. And it's always been that case. And even when I should tell people, like when we had this nice rip right here, this is when Bitcoin. Well, this is when Shiba Inu had this rip. And Bone literally went, guys, look, from the start of it, Bone was at like 57 cents. And just within a few days, it was at $1.62. So imagine now you're going to have that upward momentum for Bitcoin that is just going to keep going up until it finally finds a resistance, which many people are thinking like Bitcoin could reach like, a, a $250,000 before it really has strong resistance. So having that rip from 70 going all the way to $250,000, then this is going to allow Shiba Inu to have a nice rip on the way up as well too. So even testing its all-time highs, and if it tests all-time highs, from this point, and we had what, a 57 to 160 on Bone. Bone is going to have a nice breakout and possibly and I'm talking about without any development, anything coming out, just strictly based upon the movement of the market. Bone could see, 5, 6, 7, $8 if it just follows the movement of of Shiba Inu as Bitcoin goes up. Now you start adding the other factors to it, Shibarium getting developed, you're getting more TVL. And by the way, I think the TVL just hit the all-time high due to K9 Finance. So that's more capital and more Bone getting locked away onto a contract. And keep in mind, the price movement of Bone is based upon the Ethereum. So whatever price that you're seeing Bone on Shibarium, it's reflecting, the Oracle is reflecting what's on Ethereum. So as that price of as more Bone starts to get locked away, and now you have a pump with Shiba Inu as well, then you're gonna start to see price skip, because due to the fact there's less tokens available for Bone on the open market. Like, it really just, that's why I say you guys got to think macro. So it starts with Bitcoin. All of this starts with Bitcoin. So when people are like, oh my God, I'm down, Shiba Inu's not doing anything, Bone is not doing anything, and I just turn and take a look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's not even passing its all-time highs, then none of this matters. What is Bone doing at the point? It all matters what Bitcoin is doing. So if Bitcoin's going up as far as surpassing its all-time highs, then this is when you're going to start to see the party really start. So this is why I'm excited, guys, especially about like how things is progressing like in the market, because once we really start to go, guys, it is going to be go time. And plus we have October. October's right around the corner, in a few days. And that's historically been very, very bullish for the market. And we could see, if we don't see Bitcoin surpass its all-time high, within the next few days, definitely it should be able to happen in October, barring any, black swan event. But yeah. And this is the main token right here, guys, that we're trying to get this onto Shibarium. This gets onto Shibarium with the Bone, K9 Bone pair. And this is one thing that I showed people within the chat, right? Within our Telegram, like how this token, and this is just strictly based upon the price movement of Bone. Bone gets to $10. This token right here becomes based upon the amount. I think we're at like 14,000 Bone, but this is only when we set the liquidity and we're on Shibarium. So 14,000 Bone, and we do a liquidity pool as of right now. If we were somehow able to get on Shibarium, Bone gets to $10, right? This would have put this token market cap at I think last time we did the numbers, it was somewhere like a $40 million market cap, which is insane. That's a 40x just based upon the price movement of Bone. And this is why I say, like, any projects that is on Shibarium, I even seen, I think someone mentioned Ryoshi started moving. Let me pull that up. Ryoshi on Shibarium. And that has about 50K Bone or something like that. Let's see. Ryoshi coin. liquidity. I gotta find the one with the big liquidity. Let me just pull up Shibarium chain. All right, there it goes. Ryoshi. And that has see, it's currently up 12%, 12.69%. Part of the reason why it's up that much, even with the with the current selling, as you can see, people are selling, is due to the fact that it is paired with Bone. Like as Bone starts to go up, it's gonna drag every single token that is on Shibarium that has the pairing with you know with Bone. Uh the Soul Killer, that's another one that a lot of people sleep on. And that has a huge amount of liquidity. Huge amount of liquidity. And that is something that I'm currently right now just scooping up at a stupidly discount due to the fact that the bone that it has. Let's see. I want to say it has like over 100,000 bones or something like that. Something crazy. Let's see. No, I stand corrected. 625,000 bone, guys. And I'm gonna show you guys how to be able to just do the quick math. Let me get a calculator out so that way you guys could see. Hold on for a second. Let me get a calculator. And this is how, and this is just the power of liquidity. The power of liquidity, guys. So currently right now it has 625. I'm just gonna try to keep the numbers clean. Yeah, let's do it precise. 625,544 bones, right? Within the liquidity pool, there is 28 billion damn token that's in there. So now multiply this bone, and I'm talking about if nobody comes in and does any buys on this token, just the fact that it is paired with bone, you multiply this by, let's say bone reached the $10 mark, right? So if bone reached $10, that liquidity pool would turn into $6.2 million, right? Oh, what just happened here? My bad, guys. I don't know what just happened to my screen. Well, it looks like you guys can still see it, right? Okay. Some reason on my end, it just popped up bigger, but it seemed like you guys could still see it, so that's cool. All right, so get back to what I was saying. So Bone gets to $10, right? $10. Then the liquidity pool in itself gets to be at $6.25 million. Now you just divide this by the number of token that's currently in the liquidity pool, which is this 28 billion tokens, right? Is 28 billion. The price of this token, just strictly based upon Bone moving to $10, would put this token at 0.302189. So currently right now it's at 0.505928. So you're looking at a nice little, 100xer or close to 100x just based upon liquidity pool movement. And again, this includes nobody buying this token, just leaving it just the way it is. It automatically increases to that price. That's sick. That is sick. And this is why I think it's very, very important. Like, as if people really understand, if people are bullish, okay, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, then you should be bullish on Shiba Inu. And if you're bullish on Shiba Inu, you should be bullish on Bone. And if you're bullish on Bone, then you should be bullish on every single project that is legit on Shibarium that has a liquidity pool with Bone or Shib or Leash, because all of it, they're all going to move together. Okay, so I guess my math was wrong. They said that would be a 220x. I guess my math was wrong as far as calculating that, but that is insane, and that just strictly based upon liquidity pools, guys. Now add buys into it, add FOMO into it. People are going to be FOMOing, so it's going to cause the price of it to go up a lot higher. Now that was just, again, that was just for $10, guys. $10. So what if Random Walk is right once again, and Bone really gets to $100? So the same thing applies. $100 Bone, that would turn just a portion of the Bone that's currently on Dam to be $62 million, guys, worth of liquidity just on the Bone side. Now divide that by the amount of tokens that's currently there, which is again 28 billion. And now you're looking at a Dam token at 0.20218. Insane. So so really at this point you would just need a billion. From this price you would need a, well, not really a billion, lower than a billion, uh 500 million. So you would need 500 million tokens at this price point for you to become a millionaire off of just liquidity LP movement. These are the type of gains that I believe is in store for Shibarium. And a lot of people, a lot of people are still fading Shibarium. Like, people, I'm telling you, people want, like, if you're really looking to make money, you find the stuff that's undervalued. You don't find stuff that's already have value in it and you invest in it. Yes, you could make money, but again, we're looking, like I said, my channel, we're hunting for life changing money. Not a 5x. 5x is cool. Many influencers, they could pump a token of 5x if you get in at the right time. Some 10x. Oh, I want to see some of you guys put 400, 500 bucks, nothing too crazy, and turning that into a few hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, tens of hundreds and possibly even millions of dollars. And that's why I say, like, when it comes to, let me just show you, man. Like, and people wonder, like, why I keep talking about Roaring Kitty, because Roaring Kitty, life changing, life changing gains. This is the opportunity that it gives, life changing gain. And if you go through Deck Screener, because nobody knew about this Roaring Kitty right here, guys, until I started talking about it. Nobody knew. Because even after Keith Gill made his tweet, this was the one that did not move because everybody looked at it as a scam. You know, I think maybe 2 or 3 people bought in before me, and they were just buying all the different Roaring Kitties. And after I did my research on this token, I saw that the narrative, it was the first on the blockchain, contracts renounced, LPs burnt, uh, you know, no Telegram. It was pretty much just a blank canvas, and seeing how things, within crypto could become decentralized. This was like the perfect opportunity. It got the right narrative. There's there was essentially nobody in it, so no overhead pressure besides from the few people who bought in before me, which they're long gone, from this project, which makes it even better. And if you scroll down, like as far as like people who made money on this project, like over 100. I think I showed you guys before, like over 100 people, guys, like turned a few, some turned $50 into like 3, 4, 5,000. Some turned a few $100 into 10, 15,000. Like, I mean, I get it, especially if you haven't like made like huge gains before. Like seeing that type of money on the table, like, yeah, let me just take it. But life changing amount, this is what we're looking for. Because again, the market is just like, we're just at the beginning. We're not even at, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say we're at the beginning. Once we surpass this all-time high, this is when the beginning of the bull run, like the official bull run. Like, rip your face off. Like every day it's like dopium, you just can't wait to look at the chart. Then you're gonna have your cousins, your uncles, your grandfathers. They're gonna come to you talking about like, hey, have you heard about this Bitcoin thing, or have you heard about this crypto thing? That's where that's where we're headed to. We're not there yet. Like, we are not there yet. But I thought I'd just be able to get on with you guys just to be able to talk about this live. Hopefully, I'll get with Bus and try to do a reschedule for another day. And probably before then, we'll probably do like a test um, along, like probably 30 minutes in advance just to make sure we get everything locked up. So that way we could be able to present to you guys 1 cent dream. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment down below your thoughts, your opinion about all this. Random Art signing off. Peace.